Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Jonah with your Hollywoke hot take. Let's get right into it, shall we, doggy? Shall we? Yes, we shall. Stacey Abrams, Amazon Studios doc, all in the fight for democracy to hit theaters before Prime Video launch. I know, you've been waiting for this movie. Not Tenet, done by Christopher Nolan, not Wonder Woman 1984, but a documentary about a candidate who lost her election. Amazon Studios will release the documentary All In, the Fight for Democracy to select theaters on September 9th, ahead of its global launch on Prime Video on September 18th. The film features Stacey Abrams, the first black woman to become gubernatorial nominee for a major party in the United States. Well, we had the first black president already, so, I get it. Woman of color, but this is basically, in my view, a 2-hour commercial for the Democrats. That's what it's all about. Ahead of National Voter Registration Day and in coordination with All In, the Fight for Democracy film release, the filmmakers and Amazon Studios will launch All In for Voting, a social impact campaign with community-based organizations, nonprofits, corporations, artists, activists, and influencer. The nonpartisan campaign, ha ha ha, will develop digital content and blah, blah, blah. In other words, they're going to try to get people to vote and register if they'll vote Democrat. That's what I interpret it as. Maybe it's not true. But here are the states, the 10 states they're targeting: Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin. You left out Michigan. Trying to build capacity and engage low propensity voters. The very people who need to see this movie won't go see it. They won't go see it. They don't vote. Think they're going to see a movie about voting? A boring documentary about politics? This is for people who are into politics. Those people vote. I vote. I'm into politics. People who are into politics totally vote, unless they're so into it that they say, oh, I take the stance, I don't believe in voting or something like that. Those people are rare. Most people who are super into politics, they totally vote. And that's the only kind of people who would watch this documentary. And even I am not interested in this documentary. Stacey Abrams lost the election. She lost by like 50,000 votes. Oh, yeah, you're going to tell me, if things had gone a different way, she should have won. Al Gore should have won in 2000. Okay? That was a stolen election. They steal elections all the time. And Al Gore was perfectly willing to let it go because he was facing a hostile Congress. This is politics. So why don't you make a movie that's real? Why don't you make a documentary that tells the truth? Then you could get people on board. Then people will be like, wow, these people are awesome. I mean, that's one of the reasons Michael Moore was so popular with Fahrenheit 9/11. He didn't just make a movie bashing Bush. He also bashed the Democrats in that movie. That was part of the amazing thing about it. When you hear about how Al Gore just rolled over and let the election go to Bush, when he could have demanded a recount, they could have had some sort of investigation, but for the good of the country, no, it was for the good of politics. The Democrats knew he'd be facing a hostile Congress anyway. They had lost, I think he lost both the House and the Senate, or at least the House. He didn't want to face that. And, they just wanted it more. The investigation probably wouldn't have gone their way anyway. And so Bush won. And the Democrats were like, look, we'll take it back in 4 years. He's nobody. Then September 11th happened, and that gave him a second term. So the motto is, don't be a phony, Gore. So, look, this is a 2-hour commercial for Democrats that not going to work. It's not going to get more Democrats registered. It's not. Maybe a handful. So go ahead, knock yourself out. Spend millions of dollars. Waste your money. What do I care? I'm not going to vote Democrat ever again. And, the election doesn't hinge on Stacey Abrams and the country waiting. Biden's not going to pick her. It seems pretty evident that he's definitely not going to pick her. he's actually angling towards Whitmer, believe it or not, who's not a woman of color, but we'll see what happens. And of course, H.J. Goodman thinks it's going to be Hillary Clinton. That would be incredibly amusing. Whoever it is, that's the actual person to vote for. And if it turns out to be Stacey Abrams, won't they have to pull this documentary? Or is it the kind of thing they're trying to get it out now before she's chosen? Maybe. I kind of doubt it.